A chiropractor is on trial for allegedly trying to kill his wife for a life insurance payout. And his wife is reportedly testifying in court this week that the first few years of their marriage was quite rough. Hannah Mann is reportedly accusing her husband, Brian Mann, who, as I said, is a chiropractor, of attempting to poison her. On Tuesday of this week, Hannah gave evidence at the trial that her marriage to the chiropractor was isolating and that the first few years of their marriage was really a struggle. Reportedly, they dated for 6 months before they got married. Brian is now charged with her attempted murder after it was alleged that he constantly poisoned her. That was with lead inside their home. But he has pleaded not guilty. They reportedly shared a marital home together in Decatur, Alabama. Hannah reportedly said in court that the first year and a half of their marriage was really rough. She said they had a lot of things to overcome, but that it had gotten better as time went on. She said, but they definitely had several bumps in the road. She testified that their marriage had gotten a bit better after the birth of her first child in January of 2020. But not even a year after she gave birth, she started to get sick. She claimed that Brian started poisoning her in 2021, which caused her to develop severe abdominal pain and severe back pain, along with horrible nausea. Then by August of 2021, she started to feel really, really sick. So she got an x-ray in October, and it was then that doctors found a glitter-like substance inside of her. She said the x-ray showed a bunch of glitter inside her stomach. But she wasn't immediately diagnosed with lead poisoning. She said Brian then started to discourage her from getting medical help. He would tell her if she went to the doctors, they would do nothing but send her back home. But in November of that same year, in 2021, she started to have just horrendous dizzy spells. By the end of that year, she had reportedly lost 50 pounds. It was to the point she weighed about 100 pounds. Now, the mother of two has also said that her husband tried to isolate her. He allegedly forced her to get rid of all her social media accounts when they got married in 2018. He also discouraged her mom from coming over and checking on her and whatnot when she was sick. But it was said Hannah's mom would have to sneak over when Brian was not home. Unreal. Hannah said that the main group of people she was around when she was being poisoned was his family, Brian's, and their church family. Brian's plan to cash out those multi-million-dollar life insurance policies he had out for Hannah reportedly began to unravel after she was finally diagnosed and told that she was suffering from lead poisoning. She was then hospitalized in 2022 from January to March of that year. In late January, the Hartselle Police Department received a call from the Department of Human Resources in Alabama, and they told the police that Hannah had indeed been poisoned, and they urged the police to arrest Brian, her husband. But when they arrived at his home, he was not there. At least that's what his mom and grandma told police. When the husband later got to his home, he reportedly spoke with police, and they asked Brian if there was anything in their home that could have contained lead. Brian reportedly told them that Hannah took a white powder that was a generic form of Miralax. And from there, he went back to the police department for questioning. Hannah finally left the hospital, and just days later, she dropped her bombshell accusation of attempted murder against Brian, and she filed for a divorce. She wrote in detail about the $1.3 million in life insurance policies that he had out for her. She also reportedly mentioned another $1.5 million in 2 more insurance applications that were said to be denied. She amended her complaint days later and said that Brian perpetrated acts of assault on her by intentionally causing her to ingest particles of lead without knowing. In August of 2022, Brian was reportedly indicted, and on September 2nd of 2022, he was arrested for attempted murder. He was released on a $500,000 bond on September 7th with conditions that he turn in his guns, wear an ankle monitor, and turn over his passport. However, a week later, his bond was revoked because he didn't turn over his passport. And now they are on trial for this. Be sure to give me a follow, because after the trial, I'll give results and the verdict. This story is crazy. You really never truly know what goes on behind closed doors. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. For more true crime, be sure to follow and subscribe if you're over on YouTube.